Wow, this is just crazy. This is crazy. I got to take this off because this is really bugging me, and I have to get a new camera. Because you know what's funny? Every time I sort of say something that's, I'm not sure if this is the piece I should be taking off. And does it sit like that? A little piece that goes down here. Oh yeah, now I got it. Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, something like that. I'm just gonna leave it up like that because I'm putting on my shirt. I don't want to look indecent, and I don't want to say anything that will harm anybody. And what I say when I come out here, I can use some words, and I might make mistakes. I might get involved in the situation sometimes through the way I see it. Um, wow, isn't that a bright sky? How'd you like to wake up every morning and just see like, whoa, man, there's oranges in the sky and pumpkins. Holy Jesus, Murphy. Yep. I took this apart. Things are never in order. Things are never perfect. It's such a beautiful world. Things are never perfect, okay, for me. Okay, the way I see it, they're never perfect. But the reason I'm saying that is because I don't think I allow them to ever be perfect, in a certain way. Doesn't mean things are always out of order, but I always see, and you can see also, you can say, oh my God, can it be? And like the big question, instead of the secretary, we're going to go to the cleaning woman. Forget about the cleaning man. Okay, he's the janitor. Okay, we're going to go to the cleaning woman. Right? We got to go by how we were brought up. You're my age. You heard of the cleaning woman. We're going all about my square of life of what I see. I didn't see what my grandfather saw, and whatever my grandfather saw and he told me, it's only hearsay what he said, and whether or not I can see the reenactment exactly the way he saw what it was. I taught my teacher taught me, my teacher learned from another student, learning from another teacher. The teacher that taught him was once a student. Do methods change? Can a method change? Can the method change? Can a method change? Isn't that a big question? Can a method change? Method, a way of doing something, that's your method. You can change, but it doesn't mean that the way you were doing it, okay, changes at all. It's just, if that's what that method was, okay, we're no longer doing method A, we're now on to method B. Maybe tomorrow we'll be on method A. Even if method B is way better, one day we have to remember method A. You have to know all the missing parts. You don't put the tractor together and end up pinning it to the pinning the grader to the tractor without hooking up anything. Two separate pieces of equipment, two trains or one train or a train car. What's the difference between a train or a train car? Or how about, hey, are you my trainer? Hey, Rocky Balboa, right? You my trainer? Why do I get into this? Because if I think that I'm going to just act like a normal person and have a normal conversation to somebody who's not here at the other end of the TV, if we zoomed, maybe it'd be a little bit different. But this is entertainment. And I get into it because deep down, I feel it. I feel it. I see it. Take out this book. 46, cat sex. Cat sex. Cat sex. You have to think about cat sex. Sex cat, sexy cat. Hey, cat, what's going on? So that would be the 60s, right? Hey, cat, when were they talking about cat and where were they? Where were they? Hey, you sexy cat. I don't know. And I'm saying this because number 72, number 72 will create what is 46, okay? And 46 represents Zion or Z, 10, N. Z10N, Z10N. So the Z is the 26, which is 8. So the Z becomes the heaven, but it becomes the beta heaven. 2 times 6, so there's 2 cubes. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 plus 6 equals 8. So now we know that 12 is connected to the octagon world. And if my artwork gets me right, and I'm going to have to design this to see which piece, to see which lines I will put together to become a geometric shape and replicate the shape maybe to create from 10 to 8. And 8 and 2 times 6 equals 12L, done with B, okay, times F, okay, equals L3. And now the funny thing about this is when I talk about 2 and 6, it is the God, it is the dog, it is the queen. It is also the B and the F on the piano. And those are the 2 that do not have any black keys next to it. So the 2 plus 6 equals to the H. So you have H, let me just mark this down. You have H, L, a shell. It's almost like saying a ladder, a shell, a shell, a shell, H, a shell, H. So just trying to see where I was over here. From out of outer space, I lost my place. Lost my place. Oh, what I was talking about, right? The true story that comes from just a word. The true story that comes from just a word. I want to do a little, let's say, where would people like colors and numbers? What grade? Grade 3, grade 4, colors and numbers. You got one red, and the number is white. 9 lives. 9 lives because there's a number on it, so it's 9 lives because it could be represented with this. 2 white, black. 3 blue, white. 4 yellow, black. 5 green, white. 6 black, white. 7 orange, white. 8 pink, black. 9 turquoise, black. And these are the horses. And the horse is the one horse. And obviously there's the design of a number 1. Now, is the design this number 1? Or is the design this number 1? If it is this, I can do a lot with it. I can keep, maybe creating them together. And, if you do this over here and you do this, and then you do this, this becomes a book. So the M is a book. It's Roman numeral book. It's a Roman book. And it's a number, numeral. And its value is 1,000, which can be easily calculated by 10 by 10 by 10 equals 1,000. And we can do this a little bit different, equals 1,000. We can now say 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30, so it becomes 1030. Oh, 1030. 1030, 1 and 3. Mercury. Man o creation. 1636. The half-life. 79. Birth in the gateway. Mercury is the one that just told me that. The same time, because they're all 10s, they all become 16s, which equals to 8448. They can also be 61s, and this would be the 3 churches. Maybe we can call it the Headless Horseman if you want. They all equate to 76, multiplied and added. And when you add them again, they become 13s. But did you put it, you see, added, it becomes 13, right? It can be 13 or 31 if you want to turn it the other way. 7 plus 6 is 13. 6 plus 1 Okay. Anyways, I don't want to get into that because it says Jesus off the top. So over here, we get this. Over here equals to 183. And over here, 1 times 6, 6, 1 plus 6, 7. I didn't have to put it this way. I could have put it the other way. So it could be 67, 76, which is also, if I get this right, it's water. And water, water is just not a word, you know, WATER. It's not a word. The tear telling you to the either the eye, the retina, okay, or the earth. 8 telling us about H8. This starts with a 23 in the capital, the first letter of anything, the capital of a noun is more important than anything else, and at the beginning of a sentence. The sentence is 25 years, 2 lives, because that's what happens when you get a jail sentence. That's exactly what happens. Hello, Michelle Taylor, TaylorMade. Get out them golf clubs. Oh, it must be the ball. Oh, not my ball. Doesn't say Taylor on it. Michelle Echelle saying her, the mish, the mix up of, the put together, the mix up, the ladder. Mick saying Mick in hell if you just go MIC for the mic. You're on the mic. She's on the mic. Okay, so where are we right now with this? I'm getting lost. Was anybody following the situation? Anyways, we were talking about the M letter, the design that we just got out of here. Oh God, I gotta go shopping and get some colored pencils. I love these. I don't know. I just like to try all kinds. This one I find is a little hard, and I'm always getting color out of her. Which one should I outline the book in red? All right. And the division of the book over here, because the book it's an open book, you see. How do you make the book look open? How can I put depth over here? Can I put depth? Would a small little dot show depth? Which way would it show depth that it's a book? Well, I can turn it into a building if you want. We can turn the M into a building. Anyways, just becomes the I and the H. M and M, I and H. We're not going to get into that. Anyways, what I was talking about here is now we came off the value of what we turned the M into, and it also relates to all sevens, and that will create the spirit of 76, the church, the sun, S-O-N, the son of Pluto, okay, and it will create, when it's created, the day and the night, because the mathematics will create 44. 4 times 8, creating the beta creation, and 4 plus 8, 12. The total is 44. That 44 creates the separation of day and night and creates the 7th gate. And look at the deck of cards, how the deck of cards work. This turns into the spirit because it can be inverted. From what world are you looking? How come everything almost looks the same? Because it's just been inverted. Darker color. Oh, thank you very much. Let's see if that helps. Is that what you mean? You better be right. If you're not right, I'm warning you. I'll give you so much information that you won't be able to sleep at night. Does that make it darker? Oh, I am just and I don't have an eraser on me. Oh my God. I don't have an eraser. Whiteout is no good. You know, some of my stuff comes from Mars, eh? Where does this come from? Non-toxic, like I care. Made, what does it say? Made in Mexico. Anyways, let's not waste our time. Let me turn this around. Do I have some good color today? Wait a second. Is it better like this or like this. Oh yeah, I want to be. Oh, on a second. This has got to be a little bit different. You know me. How many years? What is the longest running? Okay, always new. Is it always Newality? What is the longest running YouTube channel? I am into my 11th year this week of Mr. TACPans, my 11th year. And when I began, I'll tell you one thing, I was scared to look in the mirror. I go, who's that guy? Talks a lot. He's always rambling on and writing down on everything he finds. He comes home, he's got Picasso on his shirt. No one understands, and he can't explain it. But he knows he can't stop. You got to keep going. Just accumulate, pick it all up. Because once you picked up all the seashells on the seashore and put them all together, you got a beautiful driveway, seashells covered with epoxy. But of course, you might have to smash those seashells because the epoxy, is the epoxy hard enough that the seashells will get stuck right in there? You got a whole driveway, and all you picked up is seashells. Why am I picking up these seashells? Because it's going to be your driveway. The puzzle ain't done till all the pieces are in place. You still don't know how Little Red Riding Hood got to the forest dressed in red. Why would she dress in red? Does it have anything to do with fox hunting? She was dressed in red because she was fox hunting and got caught by the wolf. Who is the wolf? Okay, would you want to go back to numbers? I really, okay, I'm taking white out. I'm going to fix this with white out. Sometimes I just want to be very, very precise. I don't ask myself all these questions anymore. I can't. Why this and why that? I don't know. I just have to know that the main reality stands, that these letters are geometric shapes and I didn't create them. And I can tell you one thing, Ernie and Bert and Big Bird, okay, they all had something to do with this, but it began way before that, or about the same time. They both had the same idea. One was a little bit younger. His name was MJ. Every time they mention MJ, I'm going, oh, it smells funny over here like the skunk just went by. Hey, it was all about Jack. What's Jack? Jack is plug me into the earth. Plug me in. It's my telephone Jack. Number 25, Jack. Start with a J, A, B, C, D equals to that J. Jack starts with a hookup. And the first thing it hooks up is it hooks up A again, because you got to first hook in the Jack for everything, all the wires inside the Jack. Okay, A, B, C to get to the other side to have the other hookup. A, B, and hook up on the other side. Jack, hook me up. MJ, Michael Jackson, doing the moonwalk, man on the moon, run me the cycle of A, B, C, and Jack and 5. Jack and 5 and 5 and 9, and we're all doing fine. You notice that 5 is one of the numbers when it's spelled. You in a pluralish, it'll say fifth. You have to change the V for an F. A place they usually do certain things like that is in certain languages. I don't know which language, which will lead me on another path to understand something else. These are all little paths to understand the birth of a shape. Who noticed that shape? Who gave it its name? At what point did they give it its name? Was it an obligation to give it that name? And all of a sudden, is there a pattern for name giving? Is there a pattern for name giving? And don't say no. Just look it up on the line. You'll see there's all kinds of patterns for name givings. My name was Sledgehammer, Ronald Sledgehammer, because I had a sledgehammer in my hand when I was born, or my father had a sledgehammer. He was Mr. Sledgehammer, and Grandpa Sledgehammer, and Grandma Sledgehammer. So everything came from somewhere, the idea. So if there is the alteration in recreation through the universal let's not get into poetry right now. If you think that you can't go both ways, you can't go to church and then say there's no God. You go to church, you believe there's a God, you want there to be a God. I don't care. If you want to come back to life, you got to believe in something. And the first thing to believe in is believe in yourself and understand yourself. And if you're not doing any wrong, understand the wrong you're not doing is hurting so many people. Why is it? So you study yourself and then say, I don't need to speak to them no more because it's hurting me more than anything else, trying to figure out, and you can't pay people off. It doesn't work that way. If they can't see it, okay, if you can sort of show it to them and they come back and say the same thing over to you as you've been doing wrong all the time, and then every time you want to explain yourself, they laugh in your face and said, oh, you're not telling me the truth. Blockage of expression is what is going on in the world right now. The blockage of expression leads to a backup inside the subconscious of everyone's minds. And I don't have to prove it. You can ask every single soldier that ever came home from war over the last whatever time the war has fought. And you ask every psychologist and psychiatrist if it was damaging, but they made it through it to them and nothing ever happened. That is the question. And they already have the answer because everything I do, the answer's already there. I just say, oh, look, let's play fish. I see something over there and I don't understand it. So I'll bring it over here. And I'll say, hey, wow, this person went out to fight something because somebody said something, but he was told to mind his own business, and it really doesn't matter what they're fighting for because the other person has this, but how do you really know when only 3 people made it up and told you, and that has to be the truth, and just you're a private and take your toothbrush out and do the floor. And then they come home and they hear all these. Anyways, I don't know why I talked about this. Let's wipe that out. Part of the movie Trenches of why I'm looking back, because if there is a God somewhere out there or a creator or a system that we are born, the bodies are born. Who are you? Who are you? Come on. Who are you? The body was born. You just connected. You just connected. Avatar all the way. Avatar. Avatar. You know, if you want to look at certain things, if you want to go back and say, we're going to look into Jurassic Park and the seeding and what happened, what was the possibility of that seed to recreate the dinosaurs, that it was in that gum of the tree, the pine tar, putting pine tar on baseball bats, pine tar, rat. Which planet is the rat? Tar. Tar is black. Black tar. Black tar. Black tar. Rat star. Ratzinger. 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 Ah, I remember that. Yes, the black tar. Putting the last mark. Avatar. Ava. Ava ringing at your doorbell. Ringing at your doorbell. Ding dong. Anybody home? Ava has come to town. You know, Avon goes door to door, don't they? Ava, Avon, it doesn't matter because the O-N, okay, after the A-V, the O-N is the beginning of pi. It's the separation. Pi is what's in the center of the two sides. It's the 3. 3 point, and you're moving all the time. 3.14159265, and I am now the student sliding into this world. And now I'm all over the place. A different person with a different number, into a mother and a father, changing and learning every single day for this totality of his life until you die. How long does pi go in your life? How long is the pi line? I mean, it's so simple. When I was a kid, Ma, where'd I come from? My father responded, you came from the pie. I'm like, all right. I go, it must be some way back. Right? Some way back. See, my hand is like screwing like that. It must be some way back. Okay. $11. You know what? 11 is the bread rising. The bread has leaven. Leaven. And in 11, there is hold on a second. Got to write this. Yeah. Of course. Eve is even. Eve is even. L. You can also use this in Spanish. I don't know what it is, but this is where the Q gets involved. This is 27 red. We're talking about red. I'm just trying to see what would it do? Taurus. Oh yes. Taurus. Okay. This is what happens. Right? This is what happens in Taurus. It becomes the I in Taurus. I'm going to explain to you why I did this design this way. Okay. It's Eve. I have to put it backwards and forwards, the same letter, because it can be done. I can also continue it, okay, this way and say Eve and end up, and I have to keep repeating it until the design, see on this one, right? I now have to do it this way. This is an automatic repetitive. 1, 2, 3, and then we have to start over again, and that's why we have 3 and 1, 4, and that's how I abide the count for the leap years. The same way there are only 3 suits and 1 suit. In these 3 suits, they total 273 or 3 times 91. In this 1 suit, it totals 182 or 2 times 91. This equals to these two added up equal to 455. Okay. The actual value to this suit, okay, is, as you can see, is 91. So it'd be 91 plus 273 equals 364. 364 can be equated by 7 times 7 times 7, okay? 343 CDC, 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals to 21 plus 343 equals 364. Thirteen times 28 equals moon cycle. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. 2 plus 8 equals to 10 equals to 1. 4 and 1 equals to 5 and 4 equaling to the sun and the birth. Through the cycle of the moon comes the sun and the birth. Now this also, because there's a 0, we are going to do the next equation and put it 7 and 4. And this here is where Jesus of time on the cross, on meaning your pi, okay, the meaning the cycle of the moon, cross, I have no words to say, equals to 28, which is your cycle, and 11 when added up, and it happens to be D and G for your God, with the separation of the line instead of the 0, because it's not a closed 0. It's not dividing by 8 or 6. So it becomes a 7, and 11 equals to 39 and or 17, pending if it's a plus or a minus. This can also be reduced to a 10, which will create the same equation inside of itself, another gateway inside of itself. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. We'll end up with 711 over here. We'll end up with 711 over here. This will return into 7, will become 711 through Jesus, the red sun, the energy, the power pack. So this will be 39, and that represents 10, okay? And this will represent Q, and it also represents Saturn's sky. But it's the French sky. I don't know why it tells me that. So right away I say the French sky, I say vanilla sky. I'm going to tell you why, because when I discovered the sky, Saturn sky, I discovered it through the French word, putting together the 3rd letter and the 11th letter. Sorry, was that what it was? Yes, the C and the L. And when you say C and L, it says ciel together as one word, and that means the sky. Nuage, or new age, or nu and age, is a cloud. And so now you have to think of all the clouded scenarios. Again, I'm going to reiterate, is that a good word to use? If everything was created all the way back, why can't we go all the way back through language, through things that were created, to go back and recreate all of the history that anything was created from? And since computers tell us it's all created from numbers and codes, well, let's break it all back to where the coded numbers and mathematics came in to create that, because it has to be perfect to come over and work on our servers. Otherwise, our servers wouldn't bring any information, and you wouldn't be able to see me right now. The computer world, wherever you look, whatever you touch, what you think is real, what you believe is real. What do you actually know? Because nobody has the answer. They only have an educated guess and a hypothesis, and a lot of awards from hypotheses of things they think and maybe, and I'm not sure. This is the entertainment network, Mr. Tackpans, and that's the way it goes in this entertainment of mine. Only those who have the greatest of all diplomas, we can only use their information. And all those who don't must be wrong, unless one of the sides can debunk each other. A lot have seen 1111, well, 711 or 81, which is Venus and Jupiter. Then you would have to ask Miss Levette. 7 and 2 is telling you win big. It's part of pi. It's 3 areas. And if it's 3 areas, it's got to be somewhere in the eye of Taurus, because you got to be in the middle to know that there's 3 areas. The area that you're at and the 2 areas that you see of the one area you're living. Can we do it that way? That's a question I ask. I am thirsty, so, oh, I can't leave. That's why we should be doing this in Zoom. I need somebody, I want to Zoom this stuff. I'm alive, but I only hear myself. I mean, I want to hear somebody else. Hello, 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 hello. So we worked on this little thing, the avatar. I'm going to just get myself a drink and go back to how this video began. And don't forget, did we ever talk about bowling or golf or tennis or pool or chess or checkers, Monopoly? What games haven't we touched? Because all the games are stories. Going back to the very, very, very beginning. Can't you see it or imagine it? Wow, nice shadow. Isn't that cool? Do you see that what that is? That's a handout. That's a handout. That was, hold on a second. Beauty and the Beast. Oh, they're coming in. Are you coming in? Oh, are you delivering? Yeah, what are you delivering? Oh, look at you. You look so nice. Oh my God. What is that? Look at that orange room. Oh my God. Yeah, that's my room. I got to have a little privacy. I won't tell you that's my bedroom, you know. Great. I just had 3 people in my bedroom. Well, at least it's not curfew. Know the truth. Know the truth. Know the truth. Know the truth. When somebody doesn't want to believe you, when you tell them something that is different than the way they think or what they believe, you may as well find a new approach to approach them by not speaking or using certain words that will not alter the way, trying to change the way they think. For instance, I'll see if I can do it. Okay, let's get serious. You know what? You got to blow it off. Things have got to change. I don't know what it is. I just know what I do. I rather stay silent because sometimes when you talk, you're only interrupted. And then you're interrupted and somebody starts with a whole big conversation about something you never wanted to get involved with to start with. And if you walk away, they say you're always walking away. What is communication? Do people know how to communicate? Do animals communicate? Are they telling, asking? Do humans communicate? You know, there's something really funny. I was looking something up, and I don't want to get flagged for saying this, but they have these thing called nuclear power plants somewhere in the world. Doesn't matter where it is. Pennsylvania, let's say. They had one in Chernobyl. And you saw what happened in Chernobyl. So would you think that would be part of the D and G, like God, dangerous? D and G, part of God, part of Jesus, and you're using it for the same initials as dangerous goods. It's pretty weird, isn't it? The Lord actually tells me more it's a female. Okay, Lord. She's gold. She's the golden angle, the Lord. I mean, Queen, another way to say God, but instead of saying God, you can use Queen. And that's just another crossover between the spirit of 66. So again, they're 676, the church. They go female again, right? Everything runs the cycle of man, yet everything else is the female. You have a BA bar mitzvah, but you have the bat mitzvah is also BA. One is a BAR, the other one is a BAT. And so you're telling me it's her cycle, right? PAT instead of BAR. You put those together, you got 38. It's a connection to the gold in the church, CH. Okay, let me go back to what I was going to finish here. Let me read this. I was just researching nanotech and colors. They reflect lots of interesting info as far as perception of sight. That's great. And that stuff is crazy, man. We're getting into a world where yeah, let's take this into the last few minutes of the show, the entertainment purposes only. As every last human being on this planet, whether they get the inject or not, just like in the movies, they corner you down until every single one is now a cyborg human being called fleshy robotic. You can almost think on your own, but the most important thing are your fingertips and the ability to see something a little bit different. Yet everything you think will be going to the conscience, but this conscience is not from outer space, God, our creator. This conscience is now into the digital world. Everything you think, everything you thought no one was listening to is now being put into the ledgers. And all the bits and all the coins are going to replace with the capital letters of your name. And over time, it'll just be about the ledgers. You will not be able to move without the ledger knowing. It was also mentioned in the Matrix many years ago. Neo 1, red sun DNA. Anderson. Hello, Mr. Smith.
En der nos. Whoops, sorry. Nos meaning our son. What happens if I would put red down here and DNA here? What would go over here? RED, DNA, DNA, der, red. What would go over here? What would go here? REDE. There is no E. Red, no. DNA, no. What would I just put? Would I put another D? There's nothing that goes with it, so we're just going to put an O. So what would this say? Eons, red eon DNA. Red 27, 19, 14. No, this is where pi, this is where everything gets broken up into the E world. 29 and 5 is 34. 9, 7, and 1, and this 1 will turn into a 7. This will be one red spirit. I only can bring out for what it is. I mean, if you believe in what I just wrote and where I got it from, it's telling me about one red spirit. And 977 is a repetition of the radio station Shom FM, and the pig is 977. Christ is 77. 9 times 7 is 63, which is now what creates, or what the female comes from, creation of the spirit and the half-life. Why? Hold on a second. I have to explain why, because if I don't, it's not good. Just give me a second. The woman, the spirit of the half-life, which is number 16. Wow. Number 19 is number 61. Okay, we brought that to, it was number 10, and then it became 1 plus 6 equals to 7. 13 times 7, that creates the cycle. Man creates the woman's cycle, but then the woman becomes part of the earth. The woman is like connected to the planet and the moon. The moon might be here just for the woman. That's what it seems like. Why did I start the woman over here? It takes 13 to create 19, and 12 will become 12 will become 11. 12 becomes 11. 13 becomes 19. Why? 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 2 and 1, 2 and 3 is 5. Okay, 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 6 and 5. 6 and 5 is 11. So now we're one more. So now if I do it one more time, I'm going to end up with 41 and 47. The 41 creates 5. The 47 will create 11 again, and it'll bring me down to God. Do you want to see why? Okay, going to show you. 1 times 2. 1941 to 1947. So right here you have the spirit of man in the plus minus, okay, in Jesus' time on the cross. On the is the cycle in the moon, the crossover, and pi, the divided world. Well, that's the way it looks. Or pi is you living in this world, right? Your rotation in this world. I'm just trying to think of which part it is. So this one over here is created. This one will be created by number 13. 47 was created over here in this scenario from 5 and 6, 11 will create 4 and 7 and 11. And it's 1 and 4 over here. This 1 and 4 or 4 and 1 will recreate 5 and 4. Then it will recreate 20 and 9 equaling to 11 and 29 plus and minus. And it'll also turn into number 35. So your birth, number 29, will now switch over and become number 35. And that is 11 craps. And its associate is number 27 and number 23. They will all create basically the same numbers eventually as you continue on with the mathematics. This number over here, 11, did it happen again? It happened, I think, over here where it began, and then it comes back again. And this 11 will come over here to create this over here, and then just the cycle continues. And that's from Neo Anderson, and Neo, right, is also 1, right, or an O birth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals to O. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to J. Now you got Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Right? But you had to put 5 on the other side, right? 5. 5 and 1 is 6. The reverse of this is 6. And then you add 1, 2, 3, and that equal to C. CJO. 6, 1, 3. Back to Venus again, 613 laws. Okay, we didn't do this, the alphabet and the division in the alphabet. Merciful Mercury mirrors Jesus of Nazareth, the pigs, the world of gods. We worked on this piece over here. I don't know if you remember it. We worked on number 26, and it all began with the thoroughbred numbers at the racetrack and how their uniforms associate. But I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to try and see if there's any comments. I will talk about it. I would really like to do a Zoom, bring a little life into this, or into my room here, into my world. Yeah, synthetic, big time for me. That's what I see, tons. And not only that, it's coming out. I mean, it's out there. I don't like to bring this up. So listen, I'm gonna, let's say, send you an email, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a Zoom. I'm gonna put out here like a video somewhere a little bit later. I'm never gonna come on live. It's just gonna say tomorrow, maybe at 6 o'clock at night, and I'm gonna say this is my email address. And give me your email address, and we'll Zoom. If it's 1 person, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. One to start is good enough for me. And you know, if you would have asked me 40 years ago about anything that I'm doing today, I'd say you're crazy. I was conditioned, and I saw so many things that made no sense that I can no longer believe in this or that or anything else. Or even a word, or you go to a movie and you see what they can do and how can they do it, you can imagine that anybody can do it if they can do it. Although the scenes are cut, you have to be able to imagine. It's, for me, it's just, I don't like to say it's natural, but I get a feel, and I'd rather be more safe than I am sorry, unless I'm causing the unsafe effect. That's okay for myself. But it takes a long time. You can't convince anybody, and you can't try to figure out how come and why. Just it is what it is. If you notice something you can write it down. But you don't have to know why, because the why you already know. The why is because you're putting the puzzle together. You have to believe that this is one big puzzle. And it wasn't for anything that God said to Moses on Mount Sinai. He told them, and not only that, they tell it all the time. It's the word, the word. It's all the words, the commandments. They're all telling you something.
Just these basic words have a history of some other kind, just from the geometric shapes and maybe more artwork. Maybe we can put these letters more dimensional. And don't forget, every letter has different obligations according to the magic paper over here. This magic paper, the quadrilles, they tell you everything. They're so perfect. They're so perfect. I love them. I always like paper and supplies. It's a lot of fun. But you can't ask yourself all the questions. Right or wrong? Do I have to take the chance? He didn't pay me last time. I don't need the customer because I don't need the headache. I don't need the headache. You can use it as a lost leader, but then you have to take emotion out of it. You must take emotion out of lost leaders, because if you don't take the emotions out, then it's not a lost leader to you. It's got to be a complete lost leader. You can't care about it anymore. Like you threw it in the garbage. You gave somebody $5 on the side of the road. You don't know if they put it in their arm or put it in their mouth, and you can't think about it. And I bet you if they put it in their arm, you're going to give them $5 again because they're still hungry. The nature of human nature. Human nature or nature in creation. So no logic in what you see, what you see happening, or what you see personal. See, that's why this is hard. I don't like that you're typing in, you know. Logic. See, that's a good word, logic. And in French, they called it logiciel, something to do with the computer. And anyways, for me, this is entertainment. For me, the entertainment, the work that I did, so far it tells me that I'm capable of putting together words, telling stories, because of the alphabet and placement of the letters, and because other words that match. Nothing more than that. So this is the story so far. I try not to leave out anything important like the planets or the zodiac. I don't want to leave out any day of the week, and I don't want to leave out any day of the week in English. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I can do it in French. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. It either starts with DI, or on Sunday, it only ends with DI. No, it starts with DI on Sunday, dimanche. But every other day of the week ends with DI. Suspicious to me. In French, 17, 18, 19. They say 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9. Pretty suspicious. And when it gets to 10, 9, you're on the other side. You're on the other side, according to the roulette wheel. And now I ask myself a question. Is number 3 already on the other side? The house of 3. So if the 3 is on the other side, okay, when I get to 18, because you need 3 to the power of 2, because otherwise you'll be on this side as 1 and 2. So you are number 18, Venus, angel of Jupiter divided up. 18 might begin connected to number 19, being that 9 and 1, the spirit, comes together and replicated as the numeric value of church and the half-life. Spirit of 76, freedom 55, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 7. But they use 76 for the spirit of 76, and they don't say the spirit of 16 for the church. 16, the half-life. 6 and 8 to the house. 6, the opposite side of the 8 on the dice cube. 1 and 8, 6 and 3. 3 and 8 comes together. C and H tells you right here. 3 and 8, 11, 11K.
3 times 8, 3 plus 8 equals to 24, equals to 11, equals to 35. Had that before, the day of creation, 38. And it's a specific one, day of creation. It's not day of the creation, it's day of creation. You notice sometimes they'll say day of the, and sometimes they'll say day of, because of is the 66 and it is the passageway. It is the original passageway, zoom, all the way through the cities, all the way over the rainbow to come into this world. But then when you put of the, you're passing through time heaven and through the moon pass, the 28-day cycle of the moon pass. Where do I get that? T and H, the 20th letter and the 8th letter, 28. That's it. Anybody can do it. All you got to do is remember all the equations and all the scenarios, and it's just basic logic, right? Anyone can do it. There's so many things. Where was I? If you can remember, AMNZ. Wow, AMNZ. That is very, very funny that I just did that. AMNZ. Just let me look something up. Show me where the gematria letters are. Just give me 1 second. Gematria. No, just. Okay, I'm going to just do it myself here. M is 1, N is 1, A is 1, and Z is 1. Wow. Check this out. I didn't do it on purpose, right? But when I divide up the alphabet, okay, when I divide up the alphabet, I went from A to M, which is the first and which is the 13th letter, first and 13th. I started at the 14th and I went to the 26th. In gematria, they're all number 1. So this didn't happen by, is this me or them? So the actual value to this is 14. A plus M is 14. A minus N is 12. 12 and 14, 26. Well, that's pretty weird, right? But anyways, 14, 28, 38, 48 equals to 54. Fox pass in the sun, part of the birth. That's your gematria. It almost looks like animals. Okay, I don't know where any of that came from. I will show you the obligation in this design. When I create this tic-tac-toe board, and here I'm going 2 squares wide, the 2 half squares wide over here to 1 square that fits in the center. So these are now half squares. So the obligation to go around this without touching any lines would create number 8. So now we have 9 and 8, or H and I, looking the same and connected together, and 2 to the power of 3 and 3 to the power of 2. They're always coming together. So we make the one that's a little bit larger. You see this was the small one? See this small one over here? Now what I did, instead of just finishing in this box here, see what I did here? Trying to see if I got this straight. Yes, this is what I did. I drew this line and this line and this line and this line. In this one, I didn't do that, okay? In this one, I'm into the sync. I don't know if you can see this. These are all stories. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. I'm just trying to see if you can see the, see, this is taking up a single square. See that single square here? It's taking up a single square right here. And I went through over here. That's where this is going through. It's doing the same thing here, here, and here. In this one over here, what I did is I used up these 2 squares here. And then I went to the next height, and I used up those 2 squares there. And then I used up these here, and I used up these here to create this. So what we're doing is we're triangularizing, okay, the square in the center. We're boxing the square in the center in. Okay, there's a full square in the center here. Here there is no square in the center. What did I show you that? Here, there's a square, a full square in the center, and here there is not. So we can see that there's a difference between the two. We have to understand our shapes and how they're created and how when we make them bigger. And inside this is the 8 octagon. Now, I could not go indentation on any of this, but on this one I could. And you can see I can also, I could have not flipped up these corners. I didn't have to have this here. But since the 6 is telling me that it's this way or this way, so I'm looking at the indentation this way, right? It's one way or the other. You can't have both. That's what happens. Things get lost. Like in broken telephone, you never hear the end of it. So that would be the pass on. I'm not really sure how deep this design would go. And for those who don't know, a har, a rabbit, Jacka. It's Jack the Rabbit. Now, does anybody know why I mark this? Well, I'll say this is the A letter, okay? I'll say the A letter, then I'll say the H letter, then I'll say the R letter, okay? Then I'll say the J letter and the K letter. So it's a sheer Jacka, a sheer Jacka, a shared Jacka. So it's 10 and 11. Remember, just use the first letter. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. 5 and 6 equals 11. 21. Blackjack equals to 12. 1221. Anyways, I've been here for like 5 minutes, and I'm getting a little wheezy. I'm running out of things to say, although I have the still the colors of the horses. And if you want, I'm going to go over these colors one more time before I end the video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 10th one is right over here. 1 is red, 2 is white, 3 is blue. If I take the white and the blue, I'll get baby blue. If I take the white and the red, I'm going to change the whole situation. We're going to get a pink. And that's 50. 65, the student, birth in the sun. The blue world, 40. 40, 40, 40, 46. Zion, 1 red DNA. Yellow 92 also reflects black. Green and yellow will create blue. So 4 and 5 will create the blue creation. Orange is created from red and yellow. So 1 and 4 came together to create the 7. Or did the 7 break apart to create the 4 and the 1 in the 4, the red inside the yellow? But the pink came together on number 8. So was it the 2 white with the 1 red coming into the heavens as 3 creation and 8 wearing the black colors? The black 9? Is this the back 9 or the black 9? Because the number black and yellow both have the same numeric value. I put this together, and I think all the bees are now coming. Watch out for them killer bees that are coming out here. The good bees and the killer bees, who are they, right? And anyways, that's what these combinations do from the horse racing, how the numbers interplay with each other. Because if I want to create a 5 on its own, I'll take 1 and 4 to create 5. Or I'll take 1 away from 6 to create 5. I'll take 2 away from 7 to create 5. I'll take 3 away from 8 to create 5, and 4 away from 9 to create 5. 4 and 1 equals 5. So in the numeric scale, if I would go it's a little loud, eh? I'm a little loud. So here's 3 and 4, right? I wanted to put together the Spirit of 76 again. I forget where I was going with that. This was going to come up again and again. Oh, right. 7 and 6 is 13, right? 7 and 6 will ignite the 13. 7 and 6, 6 and 7. So 6 and 7, okay, equals 13 equals 4. 4 and 3 equals 7. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will create this number. How do these numbers come and connect? And then when we connect over here, we get 365.47 days in a year. And there's 22 missing. It's lost. I'm not going to say where it's lost or where it goes, but I say it's gone with the clock because this says Jesus of time. And that's number 47. And this is 11. This is the student, the orphan student. 36 or 63 will create you. And it creates you through the roadway of 6 and 6, A, B, C, A, B, C. A and B equals C, A and B equals C. C and C equals 6. A times B times C. Okay, it's A times B equals 2 times C equals 6. Now, if you want to go times C again because of the second C, the equals, anyways, whatever, just leave that out. The opposite of this is 1289. So you have 1289 or 3647. This is the equation. And this is this and this will create 10. This and this will create 10. So 7 and 6 will create 13, and 3 and 4 will create 0, 7. So that means 9 and 2 creates 2, 8 and 1 creates 9. This is the gateway to, this is 11, 2, 4, 7. Getting tired. Anyways, what I wanted to say is I take this number 6 and put it with this 7, the same thing as putting this 3 with this 4. Is that correct? Or this 3 and this 4, 3 and 4, okay? Or 9 and 4. 3 and 4 is like 9 and 4. 9 and 4 is 13. 3 and 4 is 7. So 7 and 6 is like 1 and 6. And 3, 4, 9, what is it? It's 3, 4, 9. Let me get this right. 3, 4, 9 and 1, 6, 7. Those are the two groupments. It's 3, 4 comes together, 4, 9 comes together. 1, 6 comes together, 6, 7 comes together. 7 and 13, 13 and 7. And that's how we create the crisscross of numbers. Well, sometimes it takes me a long time to figure it out. I don't always remember everything. Okay, I am burnt out. I'm really sorry. It's coming to an end. It is the end. Okay, tomorrow, Zoom tomorrow. I mean, even later for a few minutes if you have some personal questions. You know, I got to set it up and figure it out. I don't remember. And it's funny. No, okay. Flush, okay. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. We get that camera. How far does that camera? Hold on a second. Those are my 2 burgers. Those are my 2 burgers. Oh my God, eh? Oh my God.